Here at Australians for Affordable Housing, we're working hard to make sure that housing affordability is a defining issue of the upcoming federal election campaign. Today we're going to have a chat with Carl from Prosper and Marcus from Renew Australia about why they think housing and property is an important issue. What's Prosper on about?
So primarily it's about tax reform, and front and centre is housing affordability.
What are the changes that the federal government can make to fix our housing system?
Look, the big one is negative gearing. To think that 92% of all money borrowed by negative gearers goes to buy location, to buy existing properties. Only 8% adds to supply. We've really got to build the case over just the next few weeks that this has got to go. And of course the big one, if you want to get rid of investors, is to reimpose a federal land tax. Now that's a holding charge on vacant property. We found some 90,000 empty properties last year here in Melbourne, and the census keeps hinting that there are thousands of empty properties out there. The first tax Australia ever had on a federal level was the federal land tax. In 1993, investors were just 19% of the market, and we were borrowing $83,000 for an average first homeowner borrowing. Today, you're borrowing $292,000 as a first homeowner on average in 2013. But we're saying, look, we can improve affordability by reducing the incentives for investors, where more young people will be able to afford to buy into the market with less debt. And that's what we need. We need less debt. How can it be seen as a rational decision to borrow nearly $300,000 to buy a home? You know, investors haven't delivered the goods for young people, so let's usher them out of the market. And we can only do that if you guys start asking the hard questions of your MPs.
So Marcus, tell us a bit about Renew Australia.
So Renew Australia works with probably another part of the property industry that doesn't work so well, like empty shops and offices around the country, and we basically work with property owners and communities to take spaces that are vacant or sitting empty and make them available to creative and community projects.
Your work in the arts and the innovation space is well known, but how does property fit into that?
Well, I mean, one of the things that we sort of realised through our work is that the property industry is really profoundly dysfunctional. You know, there's a lot of really stupid reasons why people let property sit empty, or they speculate on property rather than investing in it.
What role do you see for the federal government to be involved in this area?
I think you have to create a system that provides incentives for people to use property, not just to hold it and not just to sit on it. And I think that's a big part of our work. Part of that's direct funding, part of it's regulatory, part of it's in the tax system, but it's really important that someone thinks about it from that point of view and argues for it from that point of view.
Why did you decide to be involved in this forum?
So the more that we can get a dialogue about why the system's dysfunctional and how it's sort of failing to serve people, I think the healthier that is, and particularly in the context of an election and in the context of, you know, policy debates going forward, the more that you can, you know, shine a light on these issues, the better it is that we're going to get decent, you know, changes in future.